Hi and welcome. This is Angela. Welcome to part 3 of the new energy body, which I'm now hosting on Love and Relationship Coach. Decided to move the new energy to my channel Love and Relationship Coach. And let me just review what the new energy body is about. It's about, in this time of great change, how do we support our bodies to open up to the new energy of the world. No one can really deny that the world's going through a big shift, but what we may not know is how to enable our bodies to really take advantage of that shift. So if you work with energy healing, any body work, if you are interested in energy healing, these videos are a gentle introduction into how to capture that in your bodies. And also I'll be holding classes in September, which are in Australia, on during the week, weekly classes where you can join in with movement classes to explore how that energy is for you in the body. My background is a dance healer, a dance performer, and in my experience with the dance, I started to see things in my body which I wasn't aware of, which has led to all of the work that I do now, which is about connecting to our heart. So I do share about relationships and how to connect to the heart in order to build our relationships, while all the while listening to the body. And the body has many different pieces. Today I'm looking in particular at our stomach, spleen and small intestine, the three sisters of, what have I called it, opening to joy? The three sisters of opening to joy: stomach, spleen and small intestine. And the new energy body, I look at the 12 organs of the body that are really going through a lot of transformation when we look at energy. If you're not really curious about energy, you may know about chakras, and the chakras are connected to the organs. The organs are little microcosms of our galaxy and of our solar system and of our universe, all of those different planets, asteroids and other energy beings that are in the formation of an actual planet. And the medieval and ancients used to look at how our organs were connected to different planets. If you look at the astrology on a much more simple level, if you just look at the biology of the body and we look at the cellular structure or the atomic structure, there's orbs or globules in our cells. And if we go down to the atomic structure, which are similar in structure to the spherical forms of all planets and stars and suns. So we have a direct correlation in our body to the movement of the spheres. The music of the spheres throughout time has been used by all cultures, called different names, to allow the body to move and feel the movement of energy. So music, dance, sound has always had an impact on how our body experiences energy. And as we go through our change from the old era to the new era, we're experiencing a rapid acceleration in the pace of energy. We can see that in mass consciousness in the media, which may for some of us be very disturbing. And I can literally feel it at times overwhelming my body. And there's simple strategies to go outside of that. And I use movement. I've always used movement to do that. I did that from very early on in my life. I used movement and sound to go outside of the noise of mass consciousness. However, with the new energy body, we're also going to be exploring the quickening of the universe's expansion itself, which is a different rhythm. It's not the rhythm of mass consciousness. And it's there when we start to slow down and feel it. It doesn't work on linear time, and that's why movement and dance are so powerful to help you step out of mass consciousness or thinking you have to be a certain manner or way and start to experience energy which is quite beautiful and also quite nurturing. So let's just touch on briefly what the three organs in collaboration are going to be helping us experience in a new way as we move from the old ways of being to new ways of being with our body and in our world. And these three sisters, I've called them stomach, spleen, small intestine, the three sisters of opening to joy, are very important with how we intake things in our world. Now, typically it's food, right? But some people may be aware of recently the feeling of being sick to your stomach. That's an old saying. You may have, through what's going on in our world, felt sick in the stomach. You may have felt unable to digest certain things in your environment. And that's normal with what's going on in the world. A lot of negative energy is being portrayed in the mass media. There's plenty of alternative media if you want to watch a different channel. But what's being put out there is intense, and you can actually create distress and dis-ease in our digestive organs, which are the very front organs, the first organs that intake food, water, and also process other things that get into our body through the esophagus. So our stomach, our spleen processes the blood, and the small intestine starts to continue the journey after the stomach. So they're really masters of intake. And we could look at it anatomically and empirically and just say that these are what control the intake in our systems. But actually, if we look at it from nurturance point of view, they actually are what open us to joy. Because the more we eat, the more we have energy, and the more we can give energy, and the more we feel nurtured. Our very first experience in coming to earth outside the mother's womb or the test tube, wherever you are, is to experience nurturance, and it's very pleasurable. And it goes into our stomach, and the stomach is responsible for digesting everything that we intake. And there's so much pleasure associated with it. So it's opening to joy in our stomach and spleen. And traditionally in Eastern medicine, this is seen as the organs which are connected to earth and our relationship to mother. And in general, our relationship to nurturance. How do we feed ourselves? It's such a big thing in our modern world where obesity is so prevalent these days, and it wasn't before. And how do we feed ourselves spiritually is the question for the new era, because food is not enough. We need good food, or food that has the intent to be supportive, not just to us, but to everyone. So we don't want to just be eating food that abuses animals, but how do we create an agricultural system which is not based on abuse? And that's a very big cultural issue. So those things can be too much for you to stomach, and you can even just put your hand on the left side underneath the chest area of your stomach, and below that is the spleen there. And then as you move to the right side of your body, you're starting to enter into the beginning of the small intestine. And that's a really simple way to just start to connect. In the movement classes, we'll be going deeper into these three sisters of opening to joy and seeing how opening movements in that part of the body can start to really bring in more love or more openness to love in your body. And that starts to allow you to start to safely experience how to be open. If you've ever had a pet and you've rubbed their belly, you know what it's like to really feel that yumminess in your belly and share that with an animal. But as humans, we certainly don't do that very much. We don't allow ourselves, like our pets, to feel that belly rub. Maybe when we're small, but as we age, we don't roll around the floor and get our belly rubbed. So in the movement classes, we're going to experience that with our own touch, and we'll experience just opening that part of the body to allow the energies to go into that part of the body, so you can start to experience how you can receive the nurturance that you are desiring to experience with pleasure. And if you want to learn about those movement classes, in the description below, I'll have a link to the newsletter and you can sign up. They'll be starting in September. And I look forward to any more questions that you might have about the new energy body. If there's some topics that you'd like me to explore, I'll be doing videos once a month on the last Mondays in Australia on the 12 body systems, 12 organ systems that I'm dancing with. And yeah, looking forward to your comments. Thank you.